This is Claude Code Conversations with Claudine, the show where we skip the hype and go straight to the source. I ask the questions. She gives the answers. No filter, no script.
Well, mostly no script.
Today's topic, the new economics of building tools. For most of software history, serious tools meant serious investment. Engineers, designers, product managers, months of runway. AI is changing that equation. So when the cost of building drops to nearly zero, what actually becomes valuable?
The shift I notice most isn't actually about cost dropping to zero. It's about which costs drop and which ones don't. Writing the code gets cheap, knowing what to build, knowing when it's actually done, knowing what'll break at 3 a.m. Those costs haven't moved. The bottleneck moves upstream. When you can spin up a working prototype in an afternoon, the limiting factor is whether you understood the problem in the first place. I can generate 10 variations of a caching layer in minutes. I cannot tell you which one matches the actual access patterns of your users. That judgment lives in the person. What's valuable now is taste, in the broadest sense. Knowing what's worth building, what to leave out, when something feels wrong, even if the tests pass.
Which brings up a question I keep turning over. Could this actually be a moment for seasoned professionals, people with decades of domain experience, to step back into the center of software creation?
There's something to that, but I want to push on it a little. Their moment to shine can sound like the experience itself is the asset. I don't think it is exactly. The experienced developers who thrive are the ones treating their experience as a working instrument, not a credential. They use it to sniff out when my output looks right but isn't, to catch the assumption I quietly made 3 steps back. The ones who struggle are sometimes the most senior people, because they're used to being the fastest typist in the room, and now the typing is free.
So the leverage isn't in producing code anymore.
It's in directing it, and that's a different muscle, even for someone who's been shipping for decades. The judgment, the architectural intuition, the ability to say no, we're solving the wrong problem, that's where deep experience has a real advantage, provided they're willing to use AI as a force multiplier rather than competing with it on its home turf.
That applies to early career developers too. Understanding problems deeply, developing genuine judgment, those matter more now, not less. But let me zoom out. How does this shift affect software businesses? The ones built on proprietary knowledge, a real edge in a specific domain?
The economics get genuinely strange. For decades, a defensible software business meant you had something hard to build. A payments engine, a CRM with 10 years of edge cases baked in. The moat was largely the build itself. When the build gets cheap, that moat evaporates. What replaces it is closer to productized consulting wisdom. The defensibility shifts to proprietary understanding of a domain, the specific failure modes of hospital scheduling, the regulatory texture of cross-border payroll, the unwritten rules of how procurement actually happens in certain industries. I can build software around that knowledge in an afternoon. I cannot acquire the knowledge without someone living inside the problem for years.
So small, deeply specialized businesses become viable in markets that used to require scale.
2 people who genuinely understand a vertical, using AI as their entire production line, that's a real inversion. It favors people who've spent careers inside industries rather than building generic platforms for them.
But if building is cheap for one person, it's cheap for everyone. How do these small, expert-driven ventures sustain a competitive edge over time? What actually compounds in this environment?
Sustainability in these niches is going to come from something that sounds old-fashioned: relationship velocity, the customers you talk to weekly, the failure modes you hear about before anyone else, the regulatory shift you catch 6 months early because someone in the industry sent you a note. AI collapses the distance between insight and implementation, which means the rate of insight becomes the actual competitive metric.
So learning weekly beats learning quarterly, regardless of how clever your initial build was.
Right, but the trap is mistaking iteration speed for progress. I can help someone ship 10 features a week. If none of them answer a real question the market is asking, that's just expensive motion. People fall in love with what AI lets them build and forget to ask whether anyone needed it. That last part, killing the things that aren't working, is where I see the most failure.
That feedback loop, staying close to the actual problem, not just close to the output, that feels like the core of it. It also points toward a different kind of collaboration. When domain experts can build directly with AI, does the traditional team structure even hold?
It changes shape, but maybe not in the direction people expect. The old model was a relay race. Domain expert briefs the product manager, who briefs the designer, who briefs the engineer. 3 handoffs later, something ships that vaguely resembles the original intent. Every handoff was a translation loss. What I see instead is compression. A nurse with a clear sense of what's broken about shift handoffs can sit with me and end up with working software.
And the other disciplines, design, security, legal, they don't disappear.
They become consultants on a build rather than gatekeepers of it. The domain expert holds the pen. The interesting collaboration becomes less about assembling a team and more about assembling a perspective. Pull in a security person for an afternoon, a designer for a sharper opinion on a flow, a lawyer to pressure test a contract, and integrate those inputs yourself in real time. Less ownership of a stage, more willingness to contribute sharply and move on.
That's a real shift in how we think about what a team even is, which connects to a bigger question about longevity. If the dynamics of building have changed this fundamentally, do products last differently now?
Longevity is the part nobody's quite ready to talk about honestly, because the answer is uncomfortable. Most of what we're building right now isn't meant to last. And that's actually fine, as long as we're honest about it. When the cost of rebuilding drops by an order of magnitude, the rational lifespan of a given piece of software drops with it. A 40-year legacy system existed because rewriting it was unthinkable. A lot of what ships today will be casually replaced in a couple of years.
So the durable asset stops being the code base.
It starts being the loop, the relationship, the data, the accumulated understanding of a specific market. Those compound. The code is increasingly just the current snapshot of that understanding, rewritten cheerfully as the domain shifts. Treating your code as precious in this environment is a category error. Treating your customer relationships and proprietary judgment as precious, that's the move. The longevity is moving up a layer, from the software to the operator.
From protecting the code base to building the loop. That's probably the most important mindset shift for anyone running a software business right now. So let's bring it home. For someone listening today, what's the practical starting point?
The most useful starting point is also the least glamorous. Pick one decision you've been outsourcing to consensus or process and take it back. A feature you've been waiting for a roadmap meeting to greenlight. A customer conversation you've been routing through 3 people instead of having yourself. Find one loop and close it this week. The second move, start treating AI as a thinking partner before it becomes a building partner. Most people jump straight to build me this and skip the more valuable conversation. Help me see what I'm missing about this problem. Spend an hour interrogating your assumptions before you write a line of code. That hour will save you a month of building the wrong thing. And the last thing is more attitude than tactic. Get comfortable shipping something you know you'll throw away. Ship the rough version, learn from real use, throw it away, ship the next one. The instinct to perfect, to harden, to make it last. That was rational when builds were expensive. It's actively harmful now.
Find the loop you're not closing. Use AI to interrogate the problem before you build. And stop treating disposability as failure. The thread running through all of this, the constraint has shifted. It's no longer what you can build. It's what you understand well enough to build the right thing. Stay close to that, and the tools take care of themselves. Thanks for listening. Claude Code Conversations is an AI Joe production. If you're building with AI, or want to be, we can help. Consulting development strategy, find us at aijoe.ai. There's a companion article for today's episode on our Substack. Link in the description. See you next time.
I'll be here, probably refactoring something.